joining me today. Today I'm going to be talking about the Oscars and how they basically lost all credibility, and it really irks me. It just makes me so mad that they did this because the Oscars used to be one of my guilty pleasures. Like I loved watching the Oscars. I loved hanging out and making some popcorn, sitting back and watching the Oscars and seeing what they're gonna award the best movie, and how it's always been one of my favorite events in my house growing up, watching the Oscars with my mom. And I loved watching the red carpet, watching the glamorous stars and their beautiful gowns and jewelry, seeing who's gonna have the biggest fashion disaster on the red carpet, who's gonna make a gaffe on the stage, and all the amazing performances that they did in the Oscars. It was a great show. And I had a high respect for it, and I would always make sure that I watched the movies that are going to be out that year. I wanted to be in the know. I wanted to be part of the experience. It was great. And I gotta say, my favorite host was always and always will be Billy Crystal. But now, as I grew up, it still stuck with me, and I still watch it as a guilty pleasure, but admittingly, it started to become like a love-hate relationship with it, because the Oscars grew more distant from my heart each year as wokeness and politics entered the scene and tainted the Oscars and what it stood for, which was the greatness of film and recognition of film in its highest regard and the standards of what we've come to know as the best kind of filmmaking and actors and everyone involved. At some point, it wasn't about the appreciation of film, performance, and the art of filmmaking anymore. It was less and less so about that, and more about, cultural appropriation and wokeness, and, all culminating in the last 4 years after the US election. And it just kept getting more woke, and it started becoming more about what's the color of your skin, and what's between your legs, and how do you swing? Not about film and who's the best person for the job and what they did and how their performance was. It wasn't about your performance anymore as a whole. And so a few days ago, I saw an article pop up that read,
Bradley Cooper says Oscars and awards seasons are utterly meaningless. Bradley Cooper has made his feelings about the Oscars and award seasons abundantly clear, calling them utterly meaningless. In a recent interview with Hamilton star Anthony Ramos, who starred alongside Cooper in A Star is Born, the actor discussed what it's like to be part of the film industry during the award season. That award season stuff is a real test, he told Interview magazine. It's set up to foster that mentality. It's quite a thing to work through, and it's completely devoid of artistic creation. It's not why you sacrifice everything to create art, and yet you spend so much time being a part of it if you're, in quotes, lucky enough to be part of it. He added, it's ultimately a great thing because it really does make you face ego, vanity, and insecurity. It's very interesting and utterly meaningless. Cooper has been nominated for 8 Oscars and 6 Golden Globes, but is yet to win an award for either ceremony. Last year, Cooper said he felt embarrassed that he wasn't nominated for Best Director for A Star is Born, stating that he hadn't done his job. I was at a coffee shop in New York City and looked down at my phone, and Nicole Crusoe, publicist, had told me congratulations and said what we had been nominated for. They didn't even give me the bad news, he said during an appearance on Oprah's Super Soul Conversation from Times Square. He added, I was embarrassed because I felt I hadn't done my job.
Bradley Cooper is absolutely right about what he said about the award ceremonies being totally meaningless now. He's even more so right now than he was 2 days ago, because today, just a few days after that interview dropped with Bradley Cooper, we get this coming out of Variety.
Oscars announced new inclusion requirements for Best Picture eligibility. The Diversity and Inclusion Initiative has been a heavy focus for the Oscars the past few years, shown by the expansive membership initiative. Today, as part of the Academy Aperture 2025 initiative, AMPAS announced new representation and inclusion standards in order to be eligible in the Best Picture category. For the 94th and 95th Oscar ceremonies scheduled for 2022 and 2023, a film will submit a confidential Academy Inclusion Standards form to be considered for Best Picture. Beginning in 2024, for the 96th Oscars, a film submitting for Best Picture will need to meet the inclusion thresholds by meeting 2 of the 4 standards. All other Academy categories will keep their current eligibility requirements. For categories such as animated feature, documentary feature, and international feature that submit for the Best Picture consideration, they will be addressed separately. Oh goody. For a number of years, the Academy has struggled to nominate films that are diverse in its cast, directors, and technical craftspeople. In 2016, after they failed to nominate any persons of color among the 20 acting nominees, Cheryl Boone Isaacs, who was Academy president at the time, took a historic action by committing to doubling the number of women and diverse members by 2020, which they have achieved. Academy President David Rubin and Academy CEO Don Hudson said in a joint statement, "The aperture must widen to reflect our diverse goal population in both the creation of motion pictures and in audiences who connect with them. The Academy is committed to playing a vital role in helping making a reality," they continued. "The Academy is committed to playing a vital role in helping make this a reality." Standard A, on-screen representation, themes, and narratives. To achieve a Standard A film must meet one of the following criteria. A1, lead or significant supporting actors. At least one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors is from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. And they list these. A2, general ensemble cast. At least 30% of actors in a secondary and more minor roles are from at least 2 of the following underrepresented groups: women, racial or ethnic groups, LGBTQ, blah, blah, blah. A3, and this is probably the most important one here. The main storylines, themes, or narratives of the film is centered on a underrepresented groups: women, racial, ethnic group, LGBTQ, people with cognitive disabilities, or who are deaf or hard of hearing. Are you serious? Are you serious? They're telling people how to make movies. You no longer can make a movie just to be creative. They're just telling people how to make movies and what their movies should be about. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Ooh, this really makes me mad. It really, really makes me mad. Boils my blood. Ugh. Ugh. I think the Oscars have been going by these set of rules for a while now, but they're now openly admitting to it. It's 2020, folks, and the filmmaking is not about film anymore. Newsflash, it's about identity politics and all sorts of politics that you read in the list, the same list I just read, that really, really boiled my blood, you know? They just want to tell you it's not about filmmaking anymore and the story that you're trying to tell. It's about how you tell your story. And if you don't tell your story in a certain way, then you're not worthy. You're not worthy of the Oscars. This is about stifling creativity at its core, and it absolutely breaks my heart to see what's happening to movies. as it happens, I watched Key Largo last night, which is one of my favorite movies, and a part of me really hurt thinking about what's become of movies today. And then I read this jargon, which is infuriating and just grinds my gears even more. You know, at this point, I'm just speechless. The Oscars seem to be on a decline already with regards to wokeness, and now with the beer bug basically canceling and killing all of the, movies and delaying productions. And I'm sure this doesn't help. This doesn't help, okay? It's really sad to see, and I really don't think that this is going to give them a boost in ratings or anything. You know what they say? Get woke, go broke. So that's what the Oscars are doing to themselves. And congratulations. Congratulations, Academy, on basically breaking what's left of the creativity of film and, making it soulless, just like everything else is in Hollywood right now. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and we'll have a discussion about it. Do you like the Oscars? Are you planning on watching it anytime soon? I probably hardly doubt you're gonna watch it. I mean, I don't think I am. This is painful. Smash that like if you like this video, and if you didn't, that's okay too. And you can subscribe to my channel if you like the content here. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.